Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Lou, where we do this for the first blame and the last congratulating, man. I have the honor of doing a film session with the guy that y'all saw. If you've been paying attention to my posts, Instagram, Twitter, make sure to go follow on that. Lou Takes, Lou.takes, etc. And I posted a picture of me and I said I could compensated with this guy in our backup right tackle, Ajani Cornelius, the 6th round pick out of Oregon. I did a film session out of Oregon. I let him know, personally, hey man, I love what you've been doing, love the film you were doing, and I love how you've been progressing. You're going to be something, you know what I'm saying? And I told him straight up what he needed to work on. And I'm going to display that right here for all you guys, the things he did well and the things he needs to work on. But listen, we're going to get right to the film. Ajani Cornelius, I thought he had a very good, preseason, especially for where he was at, you know what I'm saying? As what the film we saw at Oregon. Now look in the first play right here. He's gonna do this power toss here, which means they're gonna be doing some type of crack toss where they're gonna be blocking down, and he's gonna have to go, get around all of this and get on to these back, he's gonna be blocking safeties and corners and stuff like that to, secure the edge for our said ball carrier. Now here he is again, showing off this. This is a great job for showing off his athleticism, the way he can move out in space, gets a block right there, gets the double block right there. Great job by him. Just, to extra secure that, to make sure he doesn't get that. That block, springs it for an extra good 4, 5, 7 yards, you know what I'm saying? So good job, Bob, the big fella, getting out and showing that. Now, this is a play I wanted to show off here because right here we're doing, we're doing some type of counter action, and I told y'all over and over again, the most important blocks within the counter, power, trap, etc., is the front side, which means the side we're running the ball to. Down blocks, they have to secure the first level and even secure the backside so we can actually see the beauty of the counter here. He's going to be on this 3 tech here, and he's going to be one-on-one right here. And I thought this is a beautiful block right here of him holding it down, him securing this one-on-one block, and allowing Deuce to cut off that right here. Look at that right there, man. That's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Here we go, one more time to show it from the beginning. Gets the block, secures. I love that he's square, square onto him, able to run him each way, and then he falls on him in the end, but he does just enough for Deuce to get past that first level and spring him, man. Here he is again. This time he's on, we're doing pass protection, half man slide. You should know this by now if you've been watching with me. This is when half the line is in zone, the other half is in main. You can always tell which side is the zone because the center is heading towards that side. He is on the zone side, okay? And they're handling a stunt. Well, actually not a stunt. They just handling this some type of added pressure. He has a defensive end that is going to stunt inside, and then there's a nickel corner that's going to come late and show in screen. And he does a great job of passing off and making sure getting a punch on the defensive end and then getting free to see this nickel corner. Now this is a hectic play right here, but we just want to pay attention to the bright spots right here because I love that he's in position to block the nickel corner right there. I thought that was beautiful. Now, we showed him on the zone side. Now we're going to show him on a man slide. And this play right here is kind of a highlight, and it's room for improvement here, Johnny. Hope you're paying attention, you feel me? So, look, he's on the man slide. That means these two guys are responsible for this man, and they need to make sure when they kick, they stay on the same plane. We preach this over and over here, which means they have to stay on the same level. Why, Lou? Why must they stay on the same level? Because they're passing off double teams. They're passing off the potential for games backside. Games don't only happen or stunts don't only happen front side. They don't happen to the side we're doing a zone to. No, defenses may switch it up to you, and you being a rookie, they know that you're adjusting to the speed of the game. So here he is right here. Luckily, there's no stunt right here, but he does catch a speed to power rusher. Good job of setting his anchor, getting back and sitting down on his anchor right there. But this is the issue with this rep. Even though he won, it's still a plus. He's still a plus. But guess what? That man, look where he's at. Look, that man is under your pads right here, Johnny. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sit down. You're too high. When on that speed to power, you gotta meet him, and also your hands are outside This is where you got to work on your punching landmarks. They should be inside on the numbers right here, because luckily, you know what I'm saying, he's a inexperienced rusher, so he's just, you know, he's just bullying you. But an experienced rusher, when you want to get to the next level, and when they have you right here on one foot where you're pretty much at your weakest because you don't have a base, they're going to counter and throw you off, hip toss you, everything, like every which way. So this is important right here. But he does get the hands inside, you know, he fixes his error, but we gotta crease it out like it's, you know, a wrinkled shirt. We aim for perfection here. We aim for close to perfection here, because that's how they grade in football. You know, when I talked to him, I was like, man, you came from Oregon, man. Y'all ran a lot of zone. And he's like, yeah, we did. You did power too, but you know, they just ran that spread power. But like, what I wanted to say, a lot of his film, like, it shows off a lot of plays like here where he's sifting up. This is called a sift, which means he's going up. He's supposed to block the B gap, but no one's in the B gap, so he has to go up to the next level in a wide base and getting square up on this defender, preferably, or taking this defender all the way to side, because we got to set up the possible cutback lane for the said running back, because we're backside, because we're all zoning here. We're zoning here. You know what I'm saying? We're zoning here, and you probably have one of the most important blocks right here, because the way they're just aligned, so we can take advantage of their alignment. And he does that here. This is a beautiful play right here. One of the highlights. Look at it. He's inside out. Maffa sees it, gets inside. You know what I'm saying? Look at Maffa. You feel me? Look at Maffa, but look at Ajani Cornelius running. He ran, bro. That was a great block. He ran this kid all the way out the club. You feel me? Get on out the club. He ain't got no ID. Get him out the club. He ain't got no ID. Ends up being a big run right here, but that doesn't happen if the guy up front, big 6'9", the right tackle, doesn't get him up out of there. Great block, Ajani Cornelius. And here he is again. We're showing off that, you know, him in a pass set. We're just paying attention here. This is why we coach you so hard, because we know you're able to do it. He gets hands on the defensive end, a great initial punch right here, and being able to stay in position, punch. Love that. You know what I'm saying? The hand fight. I love that, man. And we get a nice play, you know, on the out of the end again. You know what I'm saying? But here's a play. We're going to put plays in here where you're going to need to work on. We're doing outside zone, and he has to scoop block this guy that's in the 3-tech 93, and he doesn't get there in time. He's off balance. He's trying to lead with his head, but 93 beats him to the gap right there. So, and this is why it's important. And we end up, you know, it just end up being not fair. Also, Ajani, this is the next step in your development. This is why I'm saying it's important to be in the school with Clayton Adams and be in that program. You know what I'm saying? So you're pretty good. You're good right now, but you're the way your stature is. You got to, and he already knows he got to put on more muscle. He's got to get stronger right here, because like there was a play, and this exact same play where you're in position on the block, but this is why it's important that we got to uproot this 3-tech up out of here. This is why we got to get him moving that way, because we can't have him stonewall right here, because he's going to clog up what we got going, or we were trying to get going front side on this play right here. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna run it. Look, he gets the block here. We're trying to you know, do a power, or power action here. But listen, you're getting pushed back just a little bit. We're not getting that much movement, but this is when we're gonna get it. You know, when we get stronger, this block is gonna look more easier. You're gonna be able to throw folks right here when you get stronger, and then confident in your strength, confidence in your strength. When you throwing people at practice, this is when this block is gonna get better right here, and this is where the development takes place. This is him working that technique of him, you know, taking advantage of him being on the zone slide. So he's going to give a small left hand here as he kicks backwards here to protect, to see, you know, his hands and his eyes to feel if somebody is coming in that B gap for a game. You know what I'm saying? For this is going to be a TE game, because the tackle is first. And if you feel somebody, you need to immediately, you know, lock on and take on the penetrator right here, which he does well. So I'm gonna let it run. You know what I'm saying? Here he goes. Kicks, slow kicks. You know what I'm saying? Feels them. Now let's anchor on. Let's take on the penetrator. Does a great job here, and we buy time for Joe Milton. Here he is again on this play versus the Ravens. All right, again, they're doing a stunt action here, but I love it. He's feeling with the hand, but he understands. He sees another added blitzer that's coming on the edge. He feels Peebles right there, but guess what? We still have people there, and good job. Good punch by that. Oh my God, on that DB right there. DB said, no, sir, but we still had, issue backfield. Now here's one of those plays again where it's like a highlight and there's room for improvement on a play right here. I love the punch that you do right here, with Cornelius on this initial play right here. So look what he does, bop. But the thing I don't like is that you use your head on the block. You got to be able to sit back and punch. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from you not being confident in your strength just yet. Because when I used to do that, when you block with your head, you try to use your head for strength to get an initial pop. But when you use your head, the reason why it's bad because you're leaning over. When you use your head, you lean over. It didn't work out. It worked out right here in your favor. But when you lean over right there, you're liable for a good snatch and pull of a stronger defender or a more technically sound defender right here. So that's why it's important. I love that you readjust and you're using your strength right here, using your length right here. Got long arms. We're giving Greer a lot of time back here, and we just couldn't get the play right here. All right, and then here we go again. Just another pass set rep. I love it. Initial punch. You know what I'm saying? We got a little off balance here, but we're fighting. We're fighting to the end. Just got to keep the balance right there with our we just got to keep the balance right here. That's right there. That's the position we cannot be in ever as a defensive, offensive tackle. We got to always make sure we have 2 feet on the ground, but I understand it. You're in the middle of the fight. So I appreciate it. This is the part of the development where we must get better. But shout out to Ajani Cornelius, man. Like I said, I told him this in person. This is my first time actually, turning on the Falcons film. Of course, he was just played, but I was seeing a culmination of great things happen. That's why I had to make sure. I don't know if it was a stat out there saying that he was getting, giving up the less pressures out of everyone. But when I say, and I told him straight up, hey, like, you got some stuff to work on, but you're doing a lot of great things and you're in the perfect room. This is a guy I think we can be looking for to take that Nate Thomas jump, maybe in the next 1 to 2 years. Get stronger, get more technically sound, so you can be the future and we can get the O-line room development. So the whole entire Cowboy Nation get off my ass when I want to draft another offensive lineman. But listen, y'all, if you made it this far, make sure to like, share, subscribe to the video. You know who we do this for. The first blame and the last congratulated. The trenches, you feel me? Shout out to everybody that's watching. Comment down below. What do you feel about Ajani Cornelius or any other offensive lineman that you feel like had a great camp? Man, we're really deep at offensive line. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be great film all year. But, hey, I'm going to get up out of here, man. Until next time. Peace.
Let's see that again. Okay, good.